Today I am going to discuss about the fundamentals of remote sensing. In general term, you can say that the remote sensing is a collection method of information without physical access. In geography, when we collect any geographical information like land use, ocean condition, weather condition, using different sensor, and from that sensor data we analyze and interpret the actual condition, that is the work of remote sensing. How remote sensing works? Actually, the source of energy is very much important because the sensor captures the radiating energy from an object. If there is no energy, then no data can be captured. The source of energy is mainly sun. When the radiating light from the object captured by the sensor and the source of light is sun, that called passive remote sensing. And another is active remote sensing, when the sensor itself generates energy and capture its reflecting nature, that is active remote sensing. Like when we capture any photographs using our mobile at night time, we usually switch on the flashlight. At that time, the sensor using his own energy, source of energy, that is active remote sensing. And in remote sensing, geography, remote sensing actually uses most of the time the sun ray. And it's simply comes from sun and reflects from earth to sensor, and different types of scattering, daylight scattering, mist scattering, different types of scattering is there. Anyway, the sensor actually captures whatever the radiating energy says. And the energy reflected by any object that can be separated into different parts. Actually, when we are human eye actually capture is very small part of the electromagnetic spectrum. The value of that particular wavelength is 0.4 micrometer to 0.7 micrometer. Only this part can be seen by human eye. And the smaller part of that visible part cannot be detected by human eye, and the bigger part also cannot be detected by human eye. Like we know, when we go for X-ray, the sensor reflects his energy, but we can't see. Likewise, infrared is same, that cannot be censored by human eye. The visible band or visible spectrum can be categorized into three parts. First part is the most smaller wavelength part, 0.4 micrometer to 0.5 micrometer. That is blue. Then 0.5 micrometer to 0.6 micrometer is green, and the rest part up to 0.7 micrometer is red. Now, this is the spectral reflectance curve of different land cover of the earth. Usually, we can categorize our earth's land use into three major categories. One is water body, second is forest area or vegetative area, and the third part is bare soil. Here we can see that the blue part, which is water body, it is detectable best in green part, but in infrared part, vegetative area can be detected more precisely, and using middle infrared, bare soil can be detected very clearly. If we use blue, green and red, those three bands, we can differentiate soil, water and vegetation quite comfortably. But if we use more bands like near infrared or middle infrared, the information from the image will be better. And in most of the satellite uses blue, green, red and near infrared band. Among these four bands, if we combine three bands at a time and examine the interpretability of that particular RGB combination, the most suitable band combination is near infrared, red and green band. And these combinations are called standard false color composite or standard FCC. And again, if we use another band, middle infrared band, then it will be more useful for detecting bare soil. If we want to delineate only the wasteland or fallow land, which is agricultural fallow, then we can use only middle infrared band, because from that band image, soil or bare soil part will be appeared as bright white color. And if we use single band for detecting vegetative area, we can use near infrared band. In this way, if we want to examine the temperature condition, surface temperature condition, then we should use thermal band, because thermal band will depict the temperature condition of the surface. This is some of common satellite images and their resolution. Here, the first one, spot 5, this satellite actually its temporal resolution or revisiting interval is 26 days. Its pixel size are 10 meter 20 meter, 2 meter and 4 meter. The swath or track width is 60 meter and it captures 4 bands: green, red, near infrared and middle infrared. So from this image we can prepare standard false color composite and we can demarcate bare soil area from middle infrared band. If we say our Indian remote sensing satellite IRS, this is a sensor P6, LIS means linear imaging self scanner. Its revisiting time is 5 days. Its pixel size is 5.8 meter. Its swath is 141 meter and it captures blue, green, red and near infrared band. It is the most useful and free available worldwide image, that is Landsat satellite, Landsat, prepared by USGS, and 7 bands: blue, green, red, near infrared, middle infrared, thermal infrared and middle infrared again. The wavelength of that particular bands are given here. This is the part of not 20. Now this is the electromagnetic spectrum. Here it is ultraviolet ray, visible ray, near infrared, middle infrared and so forth. This is the first band of Landsat 7. It captures blue band, and from this blue band we theoretically can detect water bodies, because in this band water bodies reflects higher electromagnetic spectrum of blue and absorbs other bands. So from this blue band water bodies may be detected correctly. From the green band we can detect bare part. Here this is Salt Lake area, this is airport area, this is Barakpur 1 and 2 area. It reflects very high due to high urbanization. Actually, bare soil and rooftop reflects similar, looks similar from sky. So this part is not bare part, this is urban area. The next red band, it reflects also the non-water body part. This is the near infrared band. From this band we can detect vegetative from chlorophyll. Near infrared reflects most high. So from band 4 of Landsat 7, vegetative area can be detected very sharply. This is the middle infrared band which reflects bare part. Next, thermal, 2 bands are there, and last one is the panchromatic image. Panchromatic image is simply like the color photographs of our mobile camera or simple camera. It captures it captures blue, green, red at a single time. So this band can be useful for detecting smaller areas of that area. This is the band 6 of band 6 DN values, digital number. Here we can see that the dark value is the water body part and the bright parts are comparatively hot than this part. And from this DN values we can calculate the surface temperature of this area. This is the Landsat image of 1990. At that time, the sensor called TM, thematic mapper. This is the standard false color composite, means band 4, 3 and 2 combination, and its spatial resolution is 30 meter. That means it captures 30 meter by 30 meter pixels for preparing image. In this part is 30 meter and this part is also 30 meter. Here, this runway of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu International Airport, the top part is here using 10 to 12 pixels. From this part, we can't detect actual runway and its nearby vegetative areas. This is the enhanced thematic mapper of Landsat 2000. The spectral resolution bands are 4, 3, 2, and here the runway, the same part is here. We can detect the white spot on runway. This is IRS Cartosat. Its spatial resolution is 2.5 meter, and from this image we can detect even a thin line along the runway. This small characteristics of runway cannot be detected in Landsat TM or IRS P6 image because those bands have 30 meter spatial resolution. This is different band combinations. Here the A part is the 741 combination and this part is 742 combination of Landsat TM. And for detecting vegetative area, we are very confused to delineate vegetative area. For this reason, different index can be calculated like NDVI, normalized difference vegetation index. This index invented by Rosie et al. In the year 1972 using the band red and near infrared. Here the 10 row and 12 columns of digital number of near infrared band. Here we can see that the red part is higher in the vegetative areas. And in water part, the near infrared values are smaller. This red part is water bodies. You can see here. This is the Mirik Lake, and this part has been demarcated in red boundary. This is the water body part, and this is the vegetative area part. This is the Google Earth image and standard false color. Here in Google Earth, true color image is very useful for helping LULC, Landing Landmark classification, and this is the false color of 30-meter spatial resolution. For better understanding, we usually interpret satellite images into two parts. One is unsupervised classification and another is supervised classification. Most of the time, supervised classification is useful because it uses the user's experience. Like when a user survey using GPS or DGPS, the water body, vegetative area, settlement area can be detected very clearly using this supervised classification. This is the image classification which transform different values, and here we can see that the 741 combination which gives better overall accuracy, because here we should remember that 7 bands are not available for all satellites. For Landsat, TM, ETM and OLI, operational land imagery, 7 bands are available. But in Landsat MSS, multispectral sensor, IRS, P6, LIS3, 7 bands are not available at all. So we have to use this combination for IRS and Landsat MSS. But if we can access Landsat ETM or Landsat TM or OLI, then we can go for the combination 741. This is the NDVI value where the formula is near infrared minus red band divided by near infrared plus red band. The result is when its value varies from -1 to +1. If the value is -1, then it definitely is non-vegetative area, and if the value is +1, then it should be vegetative area. This is the unsupervised classification of North 24 Parganas districts satellite image using IRS history with spectral bands 4, 3, 2, and here the accuracy measures are here. We can see that the overall accuracy is 88.64%. According to Lillesand and Schiffer, less than 85% of overall accuracy is not acceptable for research purpose. So it is when the value is above 85, then it can be used in research purpose. This is the supervised classification, and here supervised classification shows 99.50%. That is better than the unsupervised classification. This is the new method by Chavez et al. Of the year 2004. Here the standard deviation and the correlation among the used three bands, the calculation will show how the bands are correlated, and on the basis of their standard deviation and correlation value, we can examine the best suitable band combination for image classification. And if we make permutation and combination of the 7 bands of Landsat TM, we can get 35 band combinations. Among them, 543 gives most higher value, that is 96.42, and the lower OIF, optimum index factor value, is for 541.72. So in this case, 543 combination will give better result. This is the part of this is the Darjeeling district. Here the band combination is 542 and 432. This B part is 741 and this part is 543. Among these three, we clearly can say that the best interpretation can be done from 543 band combination. This is the supervised classification of Newtown area for the year 2001 and 2008. Here, the acquisition of land for urban area was started in the year 1993 and 1993, and after the acquisition, slowly construction work was started, and in the year 2008 it was it is in the image that the agricultural land was vanished. This is the statistical description of LUNC of Newtown area, and here we can see that the swamp area, which was near 500 hectares in the year 2001, was vanished in 2008, and developed area or settlement area, which was about 1500 hectares in 2001, and increased to 3500 hectares in the year 2008. This is a change using the subtraction method, and we can see that the maximum change happens in 20%, more than 20% area is maximum, given in brown color, and minimum change, that is 0%, 10% to 20%, is in orange color, and the white part is no change, part of Newton. This is the normalizable index. Here the green parts are vegetative area and the red part is non-vegetative area or impervious area. This is another index, NDBI, normalized difference built-up index, and here the positive value shows high built-up and negative value shows non-built-up areas. This is the LUC classification of Barasat municipality. Here you also can see that the number built-up area has been increased very clearly. This is the extracted normalized difference built-up index. Here the built-up area changed from 1990 to 2011. This is the NDPI, normalized difference pond index. Here the number of ponds has been decreased due to urbanization. Here the total number of ponds was about 35, now remaining only 35. It was, the number of ponds was 241 in the year 1990, and the number of ponds has been decreased to only 152 in the year 2011. And this is extracted croplands from LUC of North 24 Parganas for different crop season. And here, if we combine this, we can get the single crop region, double crop region, and triple crop region of the area, of an area. In Northeast Corner, only Jaid season, Jaid cultivation practiced in 477 square kilometer area, and Kharif is 546, Rabi only 716, and double crop region for Kharif and Zaid is 313, Rabi and Zaid 82 only, Rabi and Kharif is 42, and Rabi Kharif Zaid means triple crop lands are not at all, because only 0.1 square kilometer can be used for triple crop season. Can access Landsat image from Glovis or Earth Explorer websites. We need to log in, important information about our objectives of downloading this image and purpose of the image. If we successfully log in this website, they will provide us our required images if available. And after downloading the image, we can extract and get these 12 items. Here you can see B10, B20, B30, B40, 50, 60 and 70. That means this is the band 1, blue, band 2, green, band 3, red band, band 4, near infrared band, band 5, middle infrared band, band 6 is thermal band, and band 7 again middle infrared band. And here we can see an text document. We need to open it using Notepad or WordPad. If we open it using WordPad, we can see the metadata or meteorological data of this image. Here the acquisition date is here. Please see, this is the acquisition date is 21st January 2010, and the sensor ID is Landsat TM spacecraft is Landsat 5, and the center scan time is 4:22:13. That means 4 p.m. 11 minutes 13 seconds. The path is 138, row is 45. The corner latitude longitudes are given here, and here we need to give this information on the top of any LUC classification, because without this information you cannot compare one image to another. This is called header information. Now we will open separate bands in QGIS platform. I will take another class on QGIS, but now I am directly opening the bands and showing you the application of different bands. Now please I can open it using Control button and select all 7 bands at a time. This is the band 7, and this is the part of Sundarban, southern Bengal, and this is buffering. So let it open. Now this is the top band, means band 7. Here we can detect the bare part. That means the area where settlement, water body, vegetation is none of them are exist. This is the band 6. If we enhance this part, this is the thermal band, and here see the bright value is in the bare part, and the water body part is black due to low temperature. Here one thing is more important, because the spatial resolution of this particular band, thermal band, is 60 meter, and the rest of the bands, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7 have spatial resolution of 30 meter. Only the band 6, which is thermal band, have 60 meter spatial resolution. Now here we can detect the most temperate part of this area, and now this is the band 7. It is giving us the bare part in bright white color, and the black part is not at all bare area. This is band 4. Here band 4 gives us those parts which have higher vegetation, and the other than white part is not vegetative area. This is the band 3. Here water body gives higher value and non-water bodies returns lower DN values. This is band 2. Sorry, this is band 2, which gives us bare parts, and this is the band 1, which gives water bodies very clearly. Now, if we want to prepare standard false color composite from these bands, we need to go to the raster. We need to go a standard false color composite of this image has been prepared here, and that can be seen like this. See this is the standard false color composite of the image. Here, this is the bad lines. This is the bad lines. So these parts cannot be analyzed using normal classification methods. There are different methods for preparing Landes land cover images, Landes land covers for this type of erroneous images. But we can prepare elemency for these parts because there is no cloud and no bad lines. And now the condition of this area is this is the water body in standard false color. It appears in blue, and the settlement parts are appeared like this. This is the rural settlements. Different small villages are there, so different red patches are there. If we see this part, this is the shallow water bodies after heavy rain. It may be seen in agricultural lands also. This is the bare areas where cultivation, settlement, water bodies, nothing is there. This is the area of mangrove, and there is no settlement. Some of these parts are now degrading due to anthropogenic effects. Before 1980s, these parts was also covered by mangrove. Now these parts are agricultural lands. This is the part which is now a shallow water body part, which was mangrove area, mangrove forest previously. We can show the changes using images also, using subtraction method, using extraction method, using overlay method, etc. In the next class, I will show how to prepare indexes for better classification of vegetative area, better classification of built-up area, better classification of water body area, and that will help you all for better the image interpreter. Thank you.